guys, welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day video. If you missed my first one, I will link to it down below, but I'm really excited about this series. I think that YouTube can be full of a lot of extremes, so thank you first of all for clicking on this video, even though it's not my hot bod in a bikini in the thumbnail. But especially in the What I Eat in a Day world, I personally found that I couldn't find a lot that was relatable and realistic for me. And I think people forget sometimes that it's a What I Eat in a Day video, not what you should eat in a day video. So that's why I love watching them from all ranges, be it someone who only drinks green smoothies to like a 20,000 calorie cheat day, because I can pick pieces of that and apply it to my own lifestyle. So I hope that you can do that with what I'm eating, because you may see me eating something, you're like, I would never eat that, but I do like that she did that, so I'll do that for me, whatever it may be. So I am trying to lose weight. I'm not on any particular diet and have absolutely no interest in participating in one. I know that they can work wonders for people, but I don't like to limit myself in that way because it's just not going to work. And it's not something I'm trying to teach myself how to eat, how much to eat, what to eat. And it's a journey, it's a process. I'm about 2 months in now. Things are going to get better, things are going to get worse. It's going to take me a long time, but I'm here for the journey, and I hope that you are too. But for me, things like MyFitnessPal, so calorie tracking along with meal prepping, are very, very important. And those two things can seem a little bit scary and daunting, but for me, I just don't know how much I should be eating. So I'm not weighing things obsessively. I'm more weighing out of curiosity to see, okay, how much should I really be eating of this cereal, of this cheese, of this whatever it may be. And meal prepping for me is just so incredibly important. It's more than chicken, broccoli, and rice, I promise you. I meal prep some good stuff, but it's just convenience, and it's making yourself accountable instead of grabbing something that's fast food or throwing in frozen french fries, which is something I did a lot, still do sometimes, but it's having that food there that you prep, that you know is good, makes it a lot easier for me. So let's go ahead and get started. So for breakfast this morning, I'm having scrambled eggs and some back bacon. I've talked about it before. Sometimes I'll delay breakfast or not have it at all. Sometimes I'll have a coffee and kind of wait it out and see, okay, do I really need to have breakfast this morning? If I'm feeling hungry, I'll eat. If not, then perfect. I can eat those calories later in the day and kind of save those and kind of delay my calories. Today I am hungry, so I'm going to be having scrambled eggs. So I've got one egg here and then egg whites. Egg whites are a great option to have to kind of bulk up your scrambled eggs, even fried eggs, whatever it may be, because you can just kind of add it in and you're adding in a little bit of extra protein in a really lean and non-dense way. Then my back bacon, I've talked about this in vlogs before. This is Lou's double smoked back bacon. I really, really like this because it has quite a bacony flavor, and you don't need to add any oil to the pan or anything. In 5 slices, it's just 100 calories, 3.5 grams of fat, and 20 grams of protein, which is awesome. I had questions about if I liked turkey bacon, and not anymore after I've tried that back bacon. And then I'm also gonna have for fruit some kiwi, which is one of my favorite fruits. And every single day in my world begins with caffeine. Very important. I'm gonna add my onions and kale first, just because they take a little bit longer to cook, and I don't want them to be like raw inside my eggs. I don't always put vegetables inside my eggs, but it's kind of an easy way just to add a little bit in. As everything is cooking, I'm gonna drink my coffee here. I just added some silk almond milk. That's the French side, but you get it. And I should have cooked my bacon first. I didn't think that through. So here is the finished product. As you'll notice, or maybe not, I don't know, but I eat off a little bit smaller plates sometimes if I want to make my meal seem bigger, if you want to trick your brain. And if you're the type of person who really needs some kind of carb or bread, I highly recommend the Greek yogurt bagels, which I've mentioned in a previous vlog. I will link to that vlog down below and the recipe that I use, but they are incredible. They're the best kind of like substitute healthier food recipe that I've ever tried, so I'll link to that down below. If you would like to see it in another What I Eat in a Day though, just let me know. Normally I'll prep some of those at the beginning of the week, but I just didn't this week. So this is what is happening for lunch today. I am a huge fan of like a charcuterie board that has like cured meats, cheeses, crackers, fruit. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Obviously not a great option for everyday food, so this is kind of my like wannabe charcuterie board. So for my meat option, I'm having these Pillars Original Turkey Bites. These are 50 calories a stick, so it's like a smoked turkey sausage. Then for cheese, I'm gonna have this Laughing Cow. I haven't had this in my house in a really long time, but I have the regular light and then the jalapeno, although they are the same calories, so I don't really know what makes it light versus not light, but anyways. These just come in like little squares, and I like it because it's portioned, so there's no thinking for me, and then it's just like a spreadable kind of cheese thing. Then for some vegetables, I have these mini peeled carrots, super easy thing to kind of snack on. And then I have green grapes. And for the carb portion, I'm trying these out. These are new. They are the Good Thins rice multigrain crackers. I got them, I'm not like gluten-free or anything. It's not something that I'm concerned about, but I did like these because they do have a pretty good ratio of calories to cracker, because I want to eat as much as possible with as few calories as possible. That is the dream. So I'm just gonna kind of put together a little plate of things to snack on, and I really like these kind of meals where I need to like assemble it a little bit, and it's just kind of like picking at food. I really like that whole style of eating. So yeah, if you're not into kind of snacky foods, you might be like, this is the most random lunch I've ever seen. But if you do really like kind of picking at food, I like the act of spreading the cheese on the cracker, all that good stuff. So sometimes with lunch, just after lunch, or at about 4 or 5 p.m., I'll have a Coke Zero. Kind of depends on the day and how I'm feeling. But for example, if my boyfriend is working a little bit late and we're gonna eat dinner at 7 or 8, which is generally when I try to eat dinner anyways, if I need something to kind of hold me over, I find these so incredibly satisfying. This is like a little mini can. It's 222 milliliters, and it just feels really indulgent, really satisfying to me. And regular Coke is something that I love, but I never ever drink, and I find Coke Zero is incredibly similar to it. It just delights me to no end, so it feels like such a treat. And I'll have it sometimes during the week at like 4 or 5 p.m. So for a snack, I have cut up a little bit of mango. Mango is one of my favorite fruits next to pomegranates. I find it so filling and so delicious. I probably won't eat the entire mango. I'd say my boyfriend will generally have some. We generally split a mango in the afternoon sometimes, but it's definitely one of my favorite fruits. And now that it's starting to be summer again, they're starting to actually taste good again. So this is what's for dinner, and as much as I like things like what I had for lunch that are a little bit more assembly required, take a little bit more time, it's really good for me to have things like this that I literally can just, generally I'll eat it out of this container, but because I'm filming this, I will put it into a bowl. But this is a butter chicken that I meal prepped the other day, so I will show you how I did this. So this is actually kind of a cheater curry. I use the Pataks 3-step butter chicken, and I really like this because although obviously it's better to make your own, and I'll have a link below for a time that I did make my own curry from scratch, this is just exceptionally easy, and it has it all in there, but it has like the raw spices and a paste too, so it doesn't feel like you're just getting something out of a can, you're actually doing something. And my boyfriend and I actually use far more chicken than they recommend, so it ends up being a little bit lighter than what they have, and we also fill it with a ton of vegetables. So my favorite veg for curries are zucchini and onion and mushroom. This isn't really a traditional butter chicken, obviously, because I got it out of a package, but also the vegetables that I put in there are not really traditional, but that's what I like, and I like to bulk it up with as many vegetables as possible. And you could also leave out the chicken. If you're vegetarian, you could add tofu, whatever it may be. To save myself a few calories, I have basmati rice, but I'm also going to be bulking that up with cauliflower rice. Cauliflower is really good for you, even though it looks bland, but you can mix it in with rice and barely tell it's there. And although this is not traditional, I'm adding pineapple tidbits too. I know it seems really bizarre, but I love the sweetness that it adds. So we just follow the instructions that are on the package. You kind of toast the spices to bloom them. Then you add in your curry paste and kind of cook that a little bit. And my boyfriend is wearing gloves. He likes to wear gloves when he cooks because it's just easier. And then we're letting that cook down. And we're using chicken breast, boneless, skinless. But like I mentioned, you can put just about anything in there that you want. So we cook the chicken a little bit, and then we'll add in the vegetables. I try not to cook the vegetables for too long. I don't want them to get completely soggy. And I put the pineapple in basically right at the end. And it doesn't end up being super saucy because we add way more chicken and way more vegetables than what they want, but the vegetables do release a little bit of water, which makes it more saucy. And then, as I mentioned, I'm adding a little bit of cauliflower rice to each of my containers, and then a little bit of basmati rice as well. And it's probably best not to put hot food in a plastic container, but if you are filming and you need to capture the daylight, sometimes it's necessary. Kind of a game time decision, but I decided to add in these spinach nuggets. These are really good to have in your fridge because you can add them to just about anything. They're still frozen, but then when I go to heat up my food and eat it, it will be defrosted. And as I mentioned, it's just so convenient to have it here in this container. My boyfriend takes them for lunch. I eat it for lunch a lot. I'm eating it for dinner tonight. But if I'm busy, this is just such an easy way for me to grab something. It's really filling, so delicious, full of vegetables. You could easily make this vegetarian. And if I have all meal prepped meals like this that are all just in one container, I get really sad and I don't end up eating it. So it's not realistic for me to eat like this for every meal. Some people don't mind it. Like I mentioned, my boyfriend doesn't care. Like he would eat this for every single meal. I personally get really bored and need to mix it up. That's why I like to have meals like I had for lunch, but then I also like to balance it out with meals like this that are just much easier. But I just get so bored with a dish that's all in one container and there's not, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but anyways, it's a lot of explanation for what I'm having for dinner tonight. So I am going to put this in a bowl, and as you'll see, the kind of spinach nugget that I had mentioned has defrosted, and I'll just mix it all together in there. There's not going to be, how am I going to make this look nice? I never thought this through. My meals are not necessarily like aesthetically pleasing because no one is generally looking at what I eat. And this is quite a heavy meal. You could obviously do less rice or more cauliflower rice, but it is so good. Yeah, there's no way to make this look cute, but I don't really care. It is just, it's so good. So my day is not ending with a cup of peppermint or chamomile tea or a hot lemon water, but an individual Reese's cup. So I always have like a bit of a sweet craving after dinner, after lunch, after every meal. So I thought I would play with fire and try purchasing these individual Reese's cups. I would easily polish off like 5 of these, but I try to just eat one, and it is satisfying. It's quite dense, it's a little bit heavy, and it's about 80 calories. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this What I Eat in a Day. If you have any kind of requests regarding this series, let me know down below. And if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!